a sad Thanksgiving day, but also one of the most thankful Thanksgivings I've ever experienced. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sobriety and Silver. Well, yesterday, Thanksgiving morning, I went to check on our neighbor, little Miss Ruth, and found that Miss Ruth's light had expired sometime in the morning, Thanksgiving morning. She fell asleep on her couch, sitting up, and just decided that her time on this earth was through, and she wanted to go walk with their Lord and Savior. So Miss Ruth went out of this world exactly the way she wanted. She was comfortable sitting up on her couch and had her little dog next to her, had a book in front of her, and an open Dr. Pepper on her coffee table and the TV on. And that's how Miss Ruth liked to be. So if you'll bear with me for a moment, I'd like to pay my respect and give honor to Miss Ruth by just telling a little bit about this wonderful lady. Miss Ruth was 80 years old. She was an 8-year veteran of the United States Army. She was awarded an honorable discharge. She absolutely loved America, loved the United States of America. She has an American flag hanging from her window in her living room, and on the windowsill are two smaller American flags, just like this one. She had this rock in front of her TV on her TV stand, and she was just very, very patriotic woman. Now, I've known Miss Ruth. My wife and I have known her. We were blessed to know her for the 3 years that we lived here, that we have lived here. Our apartments are just right on top of each other. We live in a duplex. And to get to know Miss Ruth was an honor and a privilege because I look forward to seeing her every day. I would get the mail, I'd get my mail and her mail, and that was my excuse to, go over and check on her and chat with her for a few minutes or pick on her or just anything, it was always a fun time or a good time to see Miss Ruth. Well, when her family came down, I learned more about this lady, and I just give thanks because it is one of the most thankful Thanksgivings I've ever had. I can give thanks that my wife and I had the honor and pleasure of knowing her. Her niece told me, sorry about that, guys, my dogs are barking. Her niece told me more about Miss Ruth than I had ever known. Miss Ruth was only married to one man. She had only known one man, and she lost him several years ago. And my wife told me that Miss Ruth actually by herself drove her husband after he passed down to Mexico to have him buried. And she also never had any other relationships other than with her husband. Her niece was telling me that she did go on a coffee date one time after her husband passed, and about 5 or 10 minutes into the coffee date, she got up and excused herself and said she felt like she was dishonoring and cheating on her husband or whatever. I don't know the exact words, but I can just picture Miss Ruth doing that. She was an amazing woman, lived a full life, lived in Mexico, California, Arizona, served in the United States Army. She had a full and wonderful life. And from the time that my wife and I knew her, Miss Ruth was only about 4'10", 4'11", weighed about 90 pounds. But she had a lot of health problems when we knew her. Her back was really arched over or hunched over. I think it's called osteoporosis. She had COPD and things like that. But her niece was telling me, and she's going to send me pictures of her because I'd really like to see it, that in Miss Ruth's youth, Miss Ruth was 5'10". So, I told my wife when we get sad and missing Miss Ruth, just think about her walking with Jesus and Jesus having to look up to her because she's 5'10". So I thank you guys for listening to that. I did want to give honor to Miss Ruth and give my respects to her. Yesterday was a hard day. Today is, it's anytime you experience death with somebody that you truly care about, it's hard. So, Miss Ruth, you will be loved, you will be missed, or you were loved, and you will be missed. And I hope that you enjoy your walk with Jesus. All right. Thank you guys for that. Now, I did get a few things in the mail today. I'm not going to go all out with the weighing it and stuff like that. The first thing I got more copper. So, I got me a maple leaf. But look at that thing. It's just beautiful. I cannot get away from copper. Absolutely beautiful piece of copper. I love that. I'm going to end up having way more copper rounds and stuff than I really need. But then I got a little 1/10 ounce. And I had ordered this before that video where I said I wasn't ordering anymore. But it's little pandas. Little 1/10 silver. I don't want to take it out because it's BU according to the description. And I don't have my gloves on. But that's really nice. I like that one. See if I can get the back to focus here. Not really. But it's not bad. I like it. It's, again, just something that I picked up that I wanted to get. And then I did get my 1964 90% Kennedy. So this will add a little bit more to the stack. And I'll update my ounces. I should be right around 29 ounces now. And my goal being 30 ounces for the year. But I didn't want to start the video out, talking about silver or anything like that because I wanted to honor Miss Ruth and I wanted to pay my respects to her. And I do appreciate you guys for listening. And I thank you for all that have commented and subscribed to this channel. Yeah, I forgot to do it again where I should have said please like, share, and subscribe at the beginning of the video. But it is what it is. We're at 420 subscribers right now. So if you like this kind of content and you like stacking silver or you just like sobriety, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Part of sobriety is having to deal with days like yesterday. And for each person who is in their sobriety, it may hit different. It may cause you to withdraw. It may cause you to isolate, especially if it's a dear family member. Now, Miss Ruth was an absolute dear friend, and I loved her tremendously. But if you lose a wife or a husband or something like that, that can hit really hard. So I would caution anybody that's in early recovery that when you do experience days like that, keep in mind that a relapse actually starts well before you actually drink that drink or take that illicit drug. You've relapsed before you ever relapse, if that makes sense. So I caution anybody to pay attention to your emotions, pay attention to your actions. Uh, check whether you're check yourself, see whether you're isolating, not talking to people, maybe staying up, sleeping during the day, staying up at night, things like that. I'm gonna keep this video, or I'm gonna stop talking because it's been a rough day or two, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm gonna quit rambling. I wish everybody a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you for sticking around. I'll see you in the next video.